Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Well, how about that adrenaline? First play of the game, and we have a catch that we're going to talk about probably the rest of this game and straight into the highlights.
Right out of the gate, what an effort. Eluding the pressure right. And this is incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Roethlisberger on target to Washington. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 69 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 23. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
T.J. Watt there on the...
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed it.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to go down again. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
A loss of 8 yards.
And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
Well, it's third down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Wilson now off the bootleg. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Steelers 7, Seahawks nothing.
They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. They run it with Carson, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They were looking for Johnson that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Hey, CD, let's peer ahead to Week 3 on the NFL slate. I'm looking down at the schedule here, seeing what catches my eye. How about the Rams at Buffalo? That's a pretty good game. A couple of 2-0 teams. Dallas at Seattle. What else do you have?
Well, how about Green Bay at New Orleans on Sunday night? We always talk about quarterback matchups that we'd love to see more of. You don't get to see very often Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, and this could be the last time if Drew Brees indeed heads towards retirement.
And now nothing but green ahead of him.
The greatest show on earth, baby.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 71 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Steelers 14, Seahawks 7. Chris Boswell.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks just an extra. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Now Roethlisberger down around his goal line. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone from the 10-yard line in.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he will find the end zone here. And the lead moves up to 7. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken in the end zone. And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Well, Charles, glancing back to week 2 of the NFL, certainly there were a lot of great games. Unfortunately, though, it was a tough day for injuries across the league, and the team probably hit the hardest, the 49ers, losing Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas for the season. They also had Jimmy Garoppolo, Raheem Mostert also leaving that game, but they were certainly not the only team affected.
And remember, they were already missing George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, right? Those guys didn't even play in that ball game. So this is a team. Oh, Richard Sherman, of course, is on IR. They've really struggled in the early going. How about the Giants losing the face of their team in Saquon Barkley? Looks like an ACL, gone for the season. And Cortland Sutton also done for the season with an ACL with the Denver Broncos. Tough sledding right now. Remember, Drew Lock, the quarterback, also hurt his shoulder in the last ball game.
And then Christian McCaffrey, they're saying likely at least a month for him of being out with that high ankle sprain. I guess maybe, CD, this is a good year to have just that 3-week IR rather than the longer spell.
It certainly is, and when you can have guys who can return faster for you, and you know that really helps the team out in a big way. Unfortunately for the Colts,
and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
His kick is,
and he'll bang that one through.
That ties the game at 21 apiece. Chris Boswell.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And now it's second down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here now is second and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He's going to look deep for more. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field, and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Pittsburgh.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot. When you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And they will take a 7-point lead. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick 6. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the... And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Flush to his right, and that one will fall incomplete.
The keeper.
Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like learned.
This is Johnson, he's got it. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
First down.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for first and 10. To throw again is Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. A big play there just before halftime. 58 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Ben to throw again. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner. in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. He's got it. This thing's turning a bit wild here. We're tied at 28.
28 all. Chris Boswell to kick off.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
2nd and 2. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Carlos Hyde in the game. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Being chased out left, and that is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from...
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Oh, they'll try the sweep. He's locking with it. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Vince Williams on the...
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
On third down, Carson. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They run for it with Carson. And some space here. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that one fell incomplete after being tipped in the air, but I have to tell you, I had a bad flashback of going to head to the stadium stairs in practice because what we were always taught, any ball like that, if it's not spiked,
he's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. How about the safety, Minka Fitzpatrick, swooping in for the sack?
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Taken in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Steelers will go. It's Roethlisberger. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile.
Wilson's
Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
And his kick is right through.
Steelers 35, Seahawks 31.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this carries into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they have to try and move past that pick 6 because now they're dealing with a 4th quarter deficit. And they need this drive to end in points. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
To Chris Carson.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll give to Hyde. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. And, oh, Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Again, a run with Connor. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30 and all the way up to the 35-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, you should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
A give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Connor on the toss left side. And he's got room. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 20. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
On the keeper.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.
Steelers 30 ball.
Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped, and I think